time to begin. Welcome all of you, those who are just getting here. Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to have a class about plants. And it's already 1:04, so it's more than necessary for us to begin, okay? Paula, I love your background, but I cannot see you properly. Thank you for turning it off. Remember, guys? Wait, there's someone speaking over there. Remember that you have to turn on your cameras for this class because that way we can see if you're paying attention, if you have any questions. So Alejandro Aquel, Gabriela Tepedino, Agustin Sanchez, please try to turn it on, okay? Only your cameras, your microphones, please turn them off so we can begin with our class. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and remember that we all have to be very quiet. If you have any question, raise your hand using the button from Zoom. I will not be paying attention to all of the cameras at the same time. So if you raise your hand in the camera, I will not be able to see it, okay? So please, careful, and let us begin. Okay, let me close here, and that's it. Sharing my screen. Please give me a thumbs up if you are able to see the presentation. If not, I'll get back and start it again. Okay? Thumbs up. Sebastian can see it. Who else can see it? Carlos can see it. Abraham. Who else? Okay, we got 5 thumbs up. So, if I ever disconnect, don't worry.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, sweetie. Remember that we have to be quiet throughout the class.
I don't see the screen.
Okay, you don't see the screen. I'm going to disconnect and come back again. Remember to please be quiet until the teacher allows you to speak. If you raise your hand, that's okay. Or if you give me a thumbs down, that means that you cannot see it. Thumbs up if you're able to see it, okay? Remember to be very, very quiet and be careful with your microphones. Okay, I'm going to check the participants to see if anyone has their microphones on so I can turn them off. For example, Isa Machado and Sebastián Marquez. Okay, Daimar, sweetie, do you have a question? Daimar?
Teacher, we have to copy this.
No, sweetie, you do not have to copy this. Every time that we have to copy something, I will tell you before we start the class, okay? And I will give you a chance to look for your notebook, for a paper, or anything else that we are going to need, okay? For this one, I only need your attention and your cameras on. You're welcome, Daimar. Isa, sweetie, please turn off your microphone. It's the second time I turn it off for you, okay? So let's begin. Today, we're going to be studying the amazing world of plants. And I know that you already saw the activity because I posted it early this morning, but today I'm going to explain what the subject is about and clear up any questions that you may have, okay? Remember to turn off your microphones, guys.
I actually didn't see that homework.
It's okay, Carlos, if you didn't see it, but remember to turn up your hands up button before speaking, okay? That way, there are no interruptions. Okay, those of you who have not seen it yet, don't worry, it's going to be there until next week, okay? You have until next Monday to answer all of your questions, but I'm going to show them to you at the end of the class, okay? So, the amazing world of plants, okay? We know plants, we all have some of them at home, we have seen them at parks, but what are they exactly? Plants are living things that can grow on land or water. Unlike animals, plants cannot move from a place to place, and most are rooted to the ground, okay? Have you ever seen a plant get out of its spot and walk somewhere else? I have not yet seen one. I have seen them grow, I have seen them climb some walls, but I have never seen one get out of its spot and try to go somewhere else. I have never seen one. So if you ever do, please tell me. Okay, plants can survive almost anywhere on Earth, okay? The only places in which we cannot find any plants are either the North Pole, the South Pole, Antarctica, and so on. Places where the temperature is really, 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 really high or really, really, really low. Like in deserts, some plants can survive like cactus, right? So even if there's snow in a mountain or something like that, most likely there are some types of plants that can survive those temperatures and live in there. Isabel, sweetie, do you have a question? You have to turn on your microphone, sweetie.
I don't have a question, teacher.
It's okay, sweetie. So then lower your hand. I'm going to do it for you, okay? Maria Paula?
Teacher,
Yes, Isabel?
I have a question.
Ah, okay. Sorry. I thought you were the one that said that didn't have a question. Go ahead.
I want to ask if this presentation is going to be in academia.
Yes, the reason why it was not in this morning, the presentation, is because I wanted you to review it with me first during class, and later I will update it, upload it to academic, okay?
Okay, okay.
You're welcome. Okay, the person who's asking how to change their name, remember you can raise your hand, wait for your turn, and also speak in English, okay? For you to change your name, there's an option in academia. You can do it after the class, okay? Maria Paula, what's your question, sweetie?
My question is that in my house, I have a plant that grow up and is in a wall.
Great, thank you for saying that. Let's try to keep these stories very, very short, because if not, we will not be able to review the entire class, okay? But thank you for that. I also have plants here. I don't have any on my wall though. Okay, next, okay? Because of the different temperatures they live in, Sasha, that's a beautiful plant, for example, that's a succulent that we will review here. There are plants that come in different shapes and sizes. Okay, for example, here we have many different plants. All of them are actually real, even the one that looks like lips at the bottom, okay? That's a kiss plant. It looks like that, but it's actually a type of flower, and it's full, and it looks like a big Barbie kiss. We also have bunny succulents. The plants that we have here, let me see if I can draw. If I can draw on the board and make some, whoops, here, an arrow. These plants, the one that I'm pointing out with an arrow, they actually eat flies. They are carnivore plants, okay? They eat other beings. These ones are actually succulents. They are full of water and they're very easy to keep. So if you ever want a plant that you don't have to take care of a lot, you can grow some of this. I can hear somebody singing. So please, that singer, I think it's either Gianfranco, sweetie. Remember, guys, that you have to turn off your microphones. Let me close this here for a second. Okay, let's continue. So they also come in different sizes, okay? When a plant is growing up, there are a lot of sprouts, which are very, very short plants. They are baby plants that can grow up to 10 centimeters tall. And there are huge trees like sequoias, the one that we have here to our right, which can grow up to 115 meters. That's more than 100% people standing up on the shoulders of another, okay? That's a lot, that's huge. So there are plants in every size, in every color, and in every shape. For example, Manuel is so surprised, he cannot believe a tree is that big. It's okay. In fact, there are many sequoias in the United States, so if you ever want to go to one and meet one in real life, you can go there. Okay, Sasha, sweetie, do you have a question? Oh, you want to show us more plants? That's beautiful, Sasha. Thank you for showing us plants.
I have a liter plant.
That's adorable. I think that's also a succulent. That's great. Mauricio, do you have a question?
Teacher, no sé decir esto en inglés, pero mira, en la parte donde aparece la de 10 centímetros, puede ser que crezca hasta 115 metros.
It depends on the plant, okay? Even if you do not know how to say it in English, you can try, okay? You can say some parts in English, some in Spanish, until you continue to practice, and then you can say everything in English. The one that says 10 centimeters is actually very small, and it can grow up to 100 meters, depending on the type of plant it is, okay? Some plants remain tiny for the rest of their life. Thank you, Mauricio. Let's continue, okay? Then we have parts of a plant. Before we begin, do any of you know the 3 basic parts of a plant? Raise your hand if you know them. Remember to use the button, okay? Use the button to raise your hand.
Teacher.
Wait for your turn. If I have not given you permission, you cannot talk, okay? Alejandro, aquel.
No, teacher, you say that put the hand up if you know the parts of a plant.
Exactly, and do you know the parts of a plant?
I don't remember.
It's okay, sweetie. Let's give a chance to somebody else. Matias?
Teacher, the 3 basic parts of the plant are stem, leaves, and root.
Yes, great. Those are the 3 main parts of a plant. Why those are not flowers? Because not every plant has a flower. Not all of the plants have fruits, okay? Let me lower your hands. Thank you guys for participating. Those who raised their hand but could not talk, that's okay. You guys did great. Thank you for trying to participate, okay?
Teacher.
Remember to wait for your turn, guys. I'm going to lower your hand, and the person who's trying to speak, you can raise it again, okay? Let me close here and continue. Okay, the first part of the plants, like our dear Matias said, was first, the leaves. Leaves are the parts of the plant where food is produced through a process known as photosynthesis. I'm not going to explain a lot of photosynthesis today because that's for another class, okay? The thing that you need to know is that photosynthesis is a process made by each plant so they can make their own food. If you didn't know, plants are the only beings that can make their own food without anything, okay? They need a few ingredients, but they made it all through a process that it's a chemical process, okay? For example, humans, if we want to eat something, we have to hunt it, we have to grow it, or we have to catch it, okay? Sorry, I silenced myself, my bad, okay? They can also absorb light and oxygen. Then we have the stems. If we go down, we will see a huge stem that connects the entire plant. The stems have a job, which is getting water and nutrients from the roots to the rest of the plant, okay? For example, every time that we eat, we take our food, we bite it, we chew it, and then it goes down to our stomach, okay? Here is a duct that is going to connect our mouth to our stomach. The same happens with plants. They have a huge duct that connects leaves and roots, and sometimes flowers and fruits. They hold up the plant so that the leaves can get sunlight, okay? For example, if we didn't have any bones, we would crumble to the floor. We would be like a huge jelly without anything to hold us up. So thanks to our bone, and in the case of plants, thanks to their stem, they can stand up, they can look at the sun, they can receive sunlight, air, water, etc. If we didn't have bones or the plants didn't have any stems, we would crumble to the ground. We would look like jelly. Yes, Manuel, do you have a question?
Teacher, the part of the neck that transfers the food to the stomach is called esophagus.
The esophagus is one of the parts of the whoops, I forgot the word. Yes, the esophagus is one of the parts that connects the digestive system. Thank you. Okay. But in the case of the stems, that's a complete root, a complete duct that connects both of it, the leaves and the roots. It can get nutrients from the roots to the leaves, and it can get sunlight and other chemicals from the leaves to the roots, okay? In this case, it goes both ways. In our case, it only goes down. Now, the roots. Roots are very, very, very important. And for those of you who did not know, we have potatoes and carrots. Both of them are roots. They are not a plant. They are the roots of a plant, and that's what we eat. The same thing goes with yuca, for example. Those are roots. We take them out of the earth, we wash them, we boil them, we cook them in any way, and then we eat it. So every time you're eating French fries, it's in fact roots that are being cut in tiny little pieces and then fried. Okay? Roots.
Disculpa, teacher.
Yes.
Excuse me. Someone is rayando the screen.
Yes, I know, sweetie. Let me. I thought that I had erased that, but maybe it's something old and I didn't notice. Okay? Thank you for telling me. Remember, guys, to lower your hands after you finish speaking. Sasha, were you the one talking right now, or do you have a question?
Teacher.
Yes?
This plant is the baby of the other plant.
Oh, that happens a lot. They give babies. I will explain that in another class. Thank you, Sasha, but let's try to focus on the information at hand, because then we will not have enough time. Yes, Alejandro?
Teacher,
Yes,
this
sweetie?
is not of the plant. This is when a person, no sé cómo decirlo en inglés,
Okay,
no sé
try.
cómo decir rayar en inglés.
Rayar as in queso rallado, that's what you mean?
No, que pinten la pantalla.
Ah,
Colors.
either scribble, in the case it doesn't have any sense, or doodle, that's also a word, or writing. You can use writing, doodle, or scribble, okay?
Bueno, cuando raya la pantalla, no importa que lo borres, en la siguiente siempre va a estar ahí.
I know,
Porque
sweetie,
después de que lo rayas, tienes que borrarlo, cambiar página, borrarlo, cambiar página, borrarlo.
I know, sweetie, but don't worry about it. I already eliminated the way that somebody writes. Okay, someone is speaking very loudly. Thank you, Alejandro. Right now, I need everyone to be absolutely quiet. Okay, I silenced all of you. There was someone speaking. I don't know who it was, but remember that you have to be quiet while the teacher is speaking. So please try to turn off your microphone until the teacher gives you permission to speak. So let's continue. Roots are the structures that hold the plant to the ground. Roots also provide the plant with water and nutrients. Okay, the person who is speaking, this is the second time that I ask you nicely to please be quiet. Okay, Carlos, sweetie, please turn off your microphone. Let's continue. Okay, so plants needs. Every plant has different needs. They need something to survive. Manuel, do you have a question, or do you want to tell me which are the plant's needs?
Teacher, with this class, I formed a really big questions.
Okay.
How the ants can make a tunnel out of the ground.
Okay, we can talk about that at the end of the class, sweetie, because there's a lot of information that I want to talk about yet, okay? But remember that every time our class is over, if you have a question and I have not answered it yet, I will stop the class and come back to a new meeting immediately afterwards, and you can connect again and make me all of the questions that you want, okay? Thank you, Manuel.
teacher.
Excuse me, teacher Paula. Alessandro Schwartz tiene la mano levantada.
Okay, Alessandro.
Like little in his hand.
Tengo una pregunta si hay tarea.
Yes, sweetie, there's a homework. It's already uploaded to Academia. I will explain it at the end of the class, okay?
Okay.
Now, I need everyone to lower their hands and silence your microphones. And please raise your hand if you know which are the plant needs. You can mention one or you can mention the 4 of them, okay? I'll be checking the chat no. I'll check in who has their hand up, okay? Okay, we got a lot of people. Graciela Hung, sweetie, do you want to tell me which are the types of plants?
I know 2.
Okay.
Sun and water.
Sun and water. We need sun and water. Thank you, sweetie. Okay, let's check who else.
Profe, tengo una pregunta.
Okay, sweetie, but wait for your turn, okay? Give me a second. Sweetie, mi amor, sweetie, wait for a second, okay? We have to wait for our turn. For example, Graciela was just telling us that we need water and sun, and Santiago is going to tell me which are the other 2, okay? Yes, Santiago? Santiago?
The plants need ¿cómo que se decía terrenito?
Soil. They need soil. Okay. And one more. Christopher?
Teacher, I don't have a question.
Okay. Matthias, do you want to tell me the last one that we're missing? Already mentioned water, sun, and soil. We're missing one. So Matthias, if you know that one.
Minerals.
Minerals are already in the soil and water. Isa Machado, which is the one that I'm missing?
A place to live.
A place to live is also soil. Thank you for saying that. What about Isabel? Isabel?
Oxygen.
Oxygen, they need air. And in air we have oxygen. Thank you guys. Okay, for all of you who raised your hand but did not participate, don't worry, I will take you into account for your participation nonetheless, okay? Thank you guys. The person who had their question, please raise your hand once again and I will address it at the end, okay? So, yes, we need water, we need sunlight, we need soil, and we need air, okay? I'm going to explain why do plants need that? Why don't they need, I don't know, why don't they need Coca-Cola? Why don't they need, I don't know, Doritos to survive? That's a very important question to ask ourselves. Why do plants do not need Doritos? Okay, first, they need sunlight. Why? Because plants use sunlight as a source of energy, okay? Every time that we eat, every time that we ourselves go eat Doritos or our lunch, we get energy from that food. But the plants actually need sunlight for energy to make photosynthesis. Okay, who's speaking? Guys, remember that we have to wait for our turn. Okay. Ninoska, Andrea, please silence yourselves. Valeria, sweetie, what's your question?
Que si vamos a tener tarea de esta actividad.
Yes, we're going to have homework. Third time I say it, okay? Please be careful and listen.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Nicole.
Teacher, se me fue el internet y no pude escuchar nada.
It's okay, sweetie. So what are you going to do? You're going to wait for the class is over, and then I'm going to clear any questions that you may have, and you can find the information, the presentation, and everything in Academia, so don't worry, okay? Let me finish up talking about plant needs,
thank
and
you.
we can talk about explaining the activity or asking any questions, okay? But first, let's us finish. We only have 10 more minutes. So, first, we need sunlight. I already said that they use it as energy, and they use it for the process photosynthesis. Remember that photosynthesis is the process that plants use to make their own food, okay? Then we also have water. All living beings need water to survive, and plants are no exception. In fact, plants need much more water than many living things. Plants use this water for photosynthesis, transpiration, and respiration, which are other processes. And no, respiration is not the act of breathing normally, okay? So don't try to say, teacher, I cannot respiration. I cannot breathe, okay? Respiration is a process for plants and other living beings, okay? They also need soil. Soil is dirt, what we call earth sometimes when we do not know the word for it. It's soil, and soil supplies plants with water and nutrients that help them grow, okay? They take all of those nutrients and water from the minerals around the soil. It takes them through the roots and up to the rest of the plants. It also holds the plants up and gives them structure, okay? What is gives them structure? The same thing I said with bones. If I could not use my legs, I will probably be laying down. The same thing happens with plants with no soil. They cannot stand up on their own, okay? And last but not least, we have air. Even if plants do not have lungs like you and I, they also breathe, okay? Even if we do not see them do this movement, they actually breathe. Plants need fresh air in order to grow big and strong. And they also can turn carbon dioxide into oxygen, okay? Every time that we speak, we are letting out into the air carbon dioxide, which is very harmful for other human beings. Wait. Sorry, I was turning off one microphone. And they turn it into oxygen. That's why we have to be very careful with our planet Earth. We have to take care of all of our plants because they supply us with oxygen. The person who is speaking, please wait for your turn, okay? And before we end our class, before we make any question, I want all of you to remember to always be kind to plants, okay? We have to take care of them. We have to water them sometimes. And actually talking to plants helps them a lot, okay? It actually gives them a lot of energy. So if you ever see one of your plants is dying, try to tell them about school or about your family or about whatever. You can take a plant and say, Cactus, my mother doesn't let me play PlayStation and I actually want to play. It actually helps the plant. So if you ever want to gossip, you can talk to your plant, okay? Now, questions. Before you guys raise your hand, we are only 6 minutes left before our class is over. If we disconnect and you still have questions about the classwork, homework, or any fun facts about plants, please connect once again to the same meeting, okay? Yes, Daimar?
Teacher,
The homework is already in academia.
Yes, it's already in academia along with the lecture, okay? What did I do? I decided to take all of the information that we had here in the presentation and put it in a Word document, so if you forget something, you can read it over there, okay? You do not have to copy it in your notebook. You only have to answer it in the Word document. I'm going to share my screen and show you what the activity is like, okay? Let me
Thank you.
You're welcome, Daimar. Thank you for asking. Who else has any question? Please raise your hand in the bottom of the computer, okay? You don't have to raise it in your living beings. Valeria, sweet, well, Isabela Canava. Sweetie, remember to sit properly, okay? We are not at somewhere else. We should be acting like we're in school. I'm going to show you the lecture and the questions while I open it up. If you have any question, now it's the time to raise your hand. Okay, remember to raise your hand if you have any questions. I don't see any questions, so I think we're good. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and show you the lecture. Okay, thumbs up if you're able to see the screen. This is the lecture that, or the reading that you will find later on in your academia files. Okay, Lorenzo, do you have a question?
Yeah, teacher, the presentation is not in academia.
I know, sweetie. The reason why it's not in academia is because the presentations, I will always put them up after our class, okay? Because I want you guys to see it first with me, just alongside you, okay? I will upload it after the class is over.
Ah, okay.
Okay, thank you. Sasha, do you have a question?
Teacher, this activity la tenemos que hacer in Word on nuestro notebook.
Okay, we're going to do it in a Word document. I will explain in a second, okay? I will answer your questions, Ninoska and Matias. Just give me a second, okay? So here's the reading. This is the entire information that we just saw in our presentation, okay? You will have the presentation and you will also have this reading so you can answer all of the questions that you need. And your activity is this one, okay? Can you guys see it? Thumbs up if you can see it. Okay, Ninoska can see it. Who else can see it? All of you can see it. Thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to assume you guys do. Okay, so at the beginning we have the instructions. Okay, it says, answer the following activities after reading The Amazing World of Plants. You can find this reading down in Files in Academia. Please answer all of your questions inside this Word document, okay? You do not have to copy or answer these questions in your notebook. You do not have to print neither this file nor the reading, okay? You don't have to print it and you don't have to copy. You can answer all of your questions here. For example, if I want to say what are plants? Plants are aliens from space. That's it. You have to answer the question and you have to answer them inside of the Word document. Ninoska, sweetie, what's your question?
Oh, no. The question was if
we have to copy it or something
have
like that?
homework, but I see it. Well, I know that I see that yes,
That we have. Okay.
that is homework. I will lower my hand.
Thank you, sweetie. Alejandro, really fast, sweetie, because we have 30 seconds. Okay, yes, Alejandro?
Sorry, teacher. Sorry.
Okay, you don't have any questions.
I forgot.
So that's it, guys. That's the activity. You will find it in your
Teacher,
in your academic.
I don't have the other page that says all the things that need to plan.
It's okay, sweetie. It's somewhere else. It's in files, okay? You have to look for it in archivos or files, okay? Okay, someone is going to take a new song out for what I hear, but that's it. So bye-bye, guys. Connect once again if you have more questions, okay? I'll connect right after this.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, teacher. Bye.
Bye,
teacher.
bye,
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 our
bye,
teacher.
bye,
Bye,
bye.
everyone. Have a great day.